Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland Reviewer, and I'm here to review Ted, the mini-series on Peacock that goes back to the early 90s in 1993 and finds Ted and Johnny, going to high school. And did we need this? Probably not, but did I have a lot of fun? I sure did. And what I appreciated about this is it really was capturing the humor of the movies, except putting it in a context where, I know the original conceit of the film was Johnny's never grown up and he acts like a giant man-child with his bear. But this, it's like he's an actual teenager, and it makes sense that he gets caught up in all these shenanigans with Ted and stuff like that. And I think generally Ted's still a hilarious idea, and they do some fun things where the whole entire episode he basically thinks he's Jesus because kinda goes along the same way, calls out a priest on it, and Ted's a fun character, and Seth MacFarlane does an amazing job, as always, as this teddy bear. And he directs this show. It's 7 episodes. The first episode's 50 minutes, and the rest of them are between 33 to, I think, 39 minutes. It definitely feels long because it still goes with that Family Guy type, cutaway gags or weird extra jokes plopped in on top of the story. And a lot of those gags don't always work. There's definitely some big swings in terms of jokes and gags that they do in the show that just do not land at all. But there's also a lot of great commentary on religion and politics and sexuality and racism, and especially because this is a family in the greater Boston area, and it deals especially with the idea of homophobia, because you have this cousin of Johnny, Blair, played by Georgia Wingham, who I loved Blair as a character. I thought she was a great addition to this show, to this basic family unit, plus the bear. And she has her whole own arc with her own sexuality and everything. And that brought some depth to this. There's a whole episode where that's a big focus, where the father, played by Scott Grimes, who really commits to Maddie Bennett as, this rough, tough, blue-collar guy who's really insecure, loves to drink, and wishes his old dump truck toy to life so that he could have somebody to reinforce all of his worst perspectives. And there's growth there, and I'm good for this show actually going there. You even get to have some stuff for Susan, the mother, played by Elena Huback, who goes so great with the voice. It's just so perfect for this character. And she gets to explore a career outside of just being a stay-at-home mom. And so each of these characters get their moments. And of course Johnny, played by Max Burkholder, who I think does a really good job of being convincing, this is the Johnny that's going to grow up to be Mark Wahlberg. And he goes through a lot of your basic kind of coming-of-age things like sex and drugs and high school and bullying and all that stuff. And, it does it in a fine way. I do feel like this generally is a really funny show. I did laugh quite a bit. And, the episodes feel a little long in the tooth, but in general, I still think this is a really enjoyable show that surprises you with some heart and some good cleverness that Seth MacFarlane's able to inject in there at places. So overall, I think this was a fun show. I think this was a fun idea, fun diversion, and you know what? It was a nice 7-episode little show that you could throw there on Peacock, have some fun with it, and move on to your next show. But those are my thoughts on Ted. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies and TV. But thank you as always for tuning in, supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.